guys, another update on the build. The crank and the pedals came in. I posted other videos on them. Just a quick review on them, or just look them over. The crank turned out pretty good. I had to end up replacing the axle. It's because of the depth of the way the crank set on. It was sitting out too far from the bike, and it was pushed in far enough. I could show you the ones that I got. I had to go through a few of them before I found one that actually worked. Check this one out. That's kind of cool. Save that for those motor kits for bikes. But the one that was originally in it was that one there. It's too long. And then I went to this one, still too long. And then I had another one where instead of having the male ends on the axle, it has a female. And it was probably the shortest one that I had. And it was just enough. You can see the clearance there is pretty good. But surprisingly, it was like floating around in that box. It's not dented or bent or anything like that. It's dead true. And hopefully the pedals don't fall apart. They've been modded. One thing I did get in is I got a DC to DC inverter for the fans. Originally, well, I mean, most of the ones I got around here, like this one here, it's just a step down. So usually the supply voltage has to be a few volts higher than what you're putting out. So that's useless. This one here is an actual booster that I got from what are these guys? I did a review with these guys before. The Eco. Anyway, these guys sent me a booster, and this one will do up to, put 5 volts in, up to 49 volts out, which is kind of cool. It probably generates a little bit of heat. With a solder mask on that board. So we're going to try that, because most of my fans on the bike will run on 16 volts. And at the standard 12 volts, you throw a little bit of air through the slots of the motor, but not that much. But at 16 volts, they just wail and do a good job of cooling the motor. So we're going to try that. There's some other things. Next on the agenda is the shock. We're going to go with something with a lockout, and then we'll deal with the bars and the seats. Typical Walmart equipment. This no matter how tight I put this C clamp, it keeps coming loose. The seat keeps coming loose. So that's next to go. The problem I'm going to have is finding a better one that tightens up down here, but still fixes the diameter of the frame, because it's old school, right? Most of them are wider. Same with the gooseneck. This is probably the best I'm going to get, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so we're going to turn the bike around, and we're going to try that. We'll try this DC and DC inverter before and after, so you get a general idea of the difference. So this is a before and after of what it sounds like. I'll let you hear it. And I taped a piece of paper towel to it so you can see the airflow before and after. It's moving a bit, not much. Like I said, it'll sings pretty good at 16 volts, and they're rated for that anyway. There's up to 4 of them in there. So let's cut into the wiring and give it a try. Okay, I think we got a setup that we can use. We got it set up with the voltmeter. I managed to dial it in for exactly 16 volts, which is what they're rated for. They go a little bit over that, but I'm going to keep it at that. And they howl pretty good. I'm going to end up printing out a 3D case for the DC and DC inverter, and then what I'll do is I'll pot it, because once I set it at 16 volts, it's where it's going to stay. Or I can pot it up to the pot. That way I can still adjust it if I have to. If the water gets in it, it won't damage the electronics. But I'm definitely going to 3D print a box for it. Plug it in and let you hear it. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like a jet engine. What's that? Almost 16. You see the paper's moving pretty good now. There's decent airflow there. Once I get the box printed out, I'll post another video. Later, guys. There you go. I end up using Gorilla Epoxy. It's not quick drying though, so it's going to take a while for it to cure. But as you can see, it's filled right up to the pot. That way I can still adjust it. And I can just glue the lid on it. Maybe make a hole for whether you can reach in and adjust the voltage. But that will do.